tell you why. All right, so welcome to our Monday night call. It's the final Monday of the month for new coaches that are on here that I haven't met before and that are new to the team this week. And also there's actually even a new challenger in an accountability group that is a discount member that decided to jump on and listen to when she saw the post about Kristi. So we have so many really like just all around the board great people here to listen into an inspiring story today. So I am really excited. For those of you that are newer to the team and are not familiar with team calls, we have team calls at 7:30 on Monday nights. So normally we have like a kickoff call to the month on the first Monday. The second Monday, we do a live action hour. The third Monday and the fourth Monday, we always either do a training ourselves or we find, and by we, I mean Amanda and myself kind of split this up. And on the third and fourth Monday, or we find somebody who wants to trade team calls and pour into our team, and we return the favor for them. So I'm really excited about tonight's team call because she happened to be in the round table, which is for 5-star and above for Beachbody, asking if there were people that wanted to trade team calls with her. And I saw her name, and when she asked, I literally about fell backwards because Kristi Kronser is who I and so many leaders on this team, when we enrolled 6 years ago, we watched her YouTube videos and we watched her journey because when we started then, we didn't have new coach groups. You got started. I mean, I didn't even know how to run a challenge group. I just started something, and I think you guys have heard, like, I was cheering people on for lean cuisines. Like, I had no clue. You just kind of jumped in and you did the best you could, but it was still inspiring and it worked. But Kristi was somebody that I found on YouTube, I believe, and our team just gravitated to her energy so much. And so I know that Kristi, not just myself, but so many others on this call are just so grateful for you, and you didn't even know that, but you should. Just your energy and all the content you put out there and how you consistently show up, you know, year after year. So thank you. So I'm going to introduce her right away because earlier today she asked how long our team calls were, and I said, well, I'm a talker. So they're about an hour, and her team calls are usually around 30 to 40 minutes, and I want to respect your time so much because I appreciate you being here. So we're going to introduce her right away. She has quite the introduction. I know I put it in the team page, and I know that as I say this, she's going to probably say the same thing, but as I say these things and introduce her onto our call, I just want to remind all of you that no matter how long you've been here or when you started, no matter how, even if you've been here for 5 years and you're like, man, I'm still an Emerald coach or whatever it is, like your journey and your accolades and your introduction can change at any time. So be inspired by this. I always like to say, like, we shouldn't be intimidated by the fact that these are the things that someone's accomplished. Instead, we should be so grateful because they just paved the road to show us that it's possible and that we can do it too, right? So with that being said, you guys are all gonna fall in love with Kristi. She's a wife. She's a mom to 2 boxers, and she has been a coach for 9 years. Actually, I just saw on her Instagram, I went over and was peeking at her earlier, that she just had her 9-year coach-versary. However you say that, coach-versary. So that's amazing, right? 9 years in this business. I mean, I think that tells you something so much about the CEO, the company, the mission, the people, the community. So that is just really awesome. She is a superstar diamond coach, which means that she has reached the top rank in her first business center, which is a 15-star. For those of you that are newer, just really quick, with business centers, as you grow, when you get to certain ranks, you can open up other business centers and actually control more than one. You'll learn that when it's time to learn that. But she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business centers. Is that correct? And she is a superstar diamond in one, 5-star in another, 3 in another, 2-star in another, and a diamond coach in another. So this girl knows how to love herself, put that out there, show others how to do it, and duplicate systems that work. And so that's just really such an accomplishment. She's a Success Club 10 legend, 109 months in Success Club, the Millions Club, which basically is an accumulation of earnings throughout her time with Beachbody. She has hit and exceeded the $1 million mark, 7-time elite and 1-time premier coach. And she started exactly wherever you are in this business right now. She's been there. And that's inspiring. She's amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear from her. Kristi, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Now I'm like sweating. Hopefully I can bring the energy tonight. So yeah, all those accolades sound super, super cool. And what I love about what Lindsay said is that I started just like every single one of you. So I actually kind of started this business by accident. What happened was I was working full-time in the financial industry. I had my Series 7, Series 66, helping people who were already wealthy. 500,000 was the minimum just to work with us. And I hated it. I went to college for this. I got a degree in this. And I had many years prior gone through a suicidal depression. I'd wanted to end my life. And fitness and nutrition really was the thing that saved me. And I didn't even know it at the time. The only reason I started working out was because I was binging on food, and I had put on 30 pounds in a matter of a couple of months. And a boyfriend at the time asked if I wanted to do a sprint triathlon with him. And I was like, well, I used to run when I played soccer back in the day, so I guess I can run. I got in the pool. I couldn't even finish 4 laps in the pool. So I was like, how am I going to do this? And I hadn't ridden a bike since I was like 8, but I just started. And when I finished that first sprint triathlon, I actually was dead last out of the water. An 80-year-old beat me. And I love that story because I started with a sprint triathlon and was dead last. But when I crossed that finish line that day, it was the first time that I actually cried and had hope that I could beat depression, that I could find happiness again. And so it was many, many years, like 6 years before I really had found happiness again. But it was just that journey of fitness and nutrition. I did everything the long, hard way. Like I've helped people get results in 21 days with 21-day fix that took me 3 years. And so I was working in finance. Loved fitness. I had gone on to do an Ironman triathlon, which is crazy, 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, 26.2 mile run. Like I said, when I started, I couldn't finish a couple laps in the pool. But what it taught me was that those simple habits of showing up and following a plan every single day can yield to really crazy big results. And so if you've ever read the book, The Slight Edge or The Compound Effect or Atomic Habits, they all talk about those things, right? Those simple, basic behaviors that we do every day that lead to really crazy, big results. And because I had seen that happen in my life, fighting for my happiness, fighting for my life, here I was at this place in my life. I was outside looking in. You would think, okay, she's doing Ironman triathlon. She's working full-time in finance. She probably has it really great. And I was blessed that my coach offered this gift to me, that she didn't make that decision for me. And when she did, I saved her message. I was like, it was an email. I'll save that because I don't have time to go through that right now. I'm going back to get my master's. I'm working full time. I'm training for an Ironman. Like, got a new boyfriend here. Like, I don't have time for that, but I'll save it because it looks interesting. And it wasn't that there was anything against her. I wasn't saying no. I just saved the message. I didn't reply because I figured I would when I had more time. And thankfully, she reached out to me again and she said, hey, did you want to jump on the phone and like go through any questions? Like, sure, I can go jump on the phone. What does it hurt? Quick phone call. And she shared with me, I asked her how long she'd been doing this, and she had been a coach for 3 years. And she shared that she was earning $1,500 a month. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. At the time, though, I had gotten a pay cut at work. I went from salary and commission to an hourly wage. My boss cut my benefits from 6 weeks of vacation to 15. And it was the biggest blessing. It's so easy to look at the closed door and everything going wrong in your life, but it was the thing that pushed me to look for something different. And I really was just looking for a part-time job to help pay my student loans because I live in California. Like once he cut my pay, I could barely afford to live. I didn't have enough money to pay the student loans. So when I talked to her and she said $1,500 a month, I was like, oh girl, that would pay my student loans. Like, okay. And I just immediately was like, how do I sign up? Like, I need this. I get to help people with fitness. She said they give us customer leads. I'm like, even better. I get to help people. They give me people. Like, just send me the link. I want to do it right now. And sounds cool. Was really excited about it. Really fired up. Month one, I invited 400 people. And that sounds like a lot of people. If you do the math, it's like 15 people a day. Back then we didn't have the tracker. We had what was called a 10 game plan commitment. And I looked through that commitment, that game plan commitment, and it said invite 2 to 5 people a day. And I thought, well, I suck at this. And if I invite 2 to 5 people, I'm not going to get yeses. So I'll go with like, we'll do a lot more than what they're telling me to do, because I'm not going to get the results that I'm after. And I was really bad. I would post to social media. I wasn't on social media when I got started. I didn't have any following. When I would post, it would get 0 likes, and not just like 0 likes for a little bit. It was like my first year. Things still pop up now where 0 likes, but I kept posting. One of my friends even said, she's a coach on the team now, and she goes, yeah, for the first couple of years, I just watched you to see how bad of a train wreck this was going to be. Seriously, I could tell you guys stories all day long. And then in month 2, though, at the beginning of month 2, I almost quit. I was like, I looked at my coach office. I had 2 coaches. I was Emerald. I had earned Success Club barely. It was a pity Success Club point at the very last day of the month. And I took a step back and I was like, who am I to think I can be successful? Who am I to think that, yeah, these basic things of earning Success Club every month, and, you know, I did it for 1 month. How am I going to do it again? Like half the people I think they just signed up with me because they felt bad. Like, I don't know that they really want to do this with me. And I also felt like I was being a salesperson. I felt really icky. And I'm like, I don't want to be a salesperson, so I should probably just quit. But then I took a step back and I'm like, well, in my job, my boss tells me what I have to do and how I have to do it and how much I have to work. And it says yes to everything that I want, to have an impact, an income with impact, no limit to how much I can earn. Not, you know, I had been with my boss for 4 years, almost 5 years, and I got a pay cut. Like, I don't want someone just telling me I'm going to get a pay cut in 5 years and I'm still barely making ends meet with what he was paying me. And it says yes to the freedom that I want, as much vacation time as I want. But it also says yes to having to get uncomfortable, having to challenge myself. And if you don't want to be a salesperson, don't be a salesperson. And so what I was doing was I would post on social media, hey, I'm a P90X coach, buy from me. Like, who wants to buy from that person? Or I'd invite people and say, oh, I'm a P90X coach. I sell P90X now. Would you like to buy it? Like, seriously, my invites were horrible. Luckily, we have like scripts in the coach office, if you look through them, that are way better. We didn't have any of that stuff back then. And my coach disappeared on week 2. So she disappeared on week 2. By week 4, I'm thinking, okay, I should probably quit this. Who am I to think I can be successful? And when I took that step back, I was like, the alternative is you go to work, you go find another job that isn't in alignment with the life that you want to build for yourself. The time is going to pass either way. Are you going to let the time pass going after what you actually want in your life, doing it in a way that you want? Are you going to let time pass going after what you don't want? And so I made that commitment right then. And honestly, a lot of my coaches like have doubts and fears and things throughout their entire journey. There was no option. There was no other option by the time I made that decision in month 2. And in month 2, I invited another 400 people, followed up with the previous month, and I enrolled 16 people that month and became a diamond coach. But I think if I would have wavered in that fear and that doubt and kind of not gone all in and really made that commitment and cut out all other options, I don't think that would have happened in month 2. And I'll get into that more in a little bit. So it was about a year. I made $70 my first month. Another really big thing is that I was grateful for every penny I made. My degree is in business and with a concentration in finance. So I actually understand the compound effect. I understand residual income and the compounding interest of money. And I also understand that most businesses take 4 years to break even. So if I was going to commit to getting a college degree for 4 years and invest $100,000 in debt to get a college degree and go to school 40 hours a week, commit that effort, that time to go in debt for 4 years, why wouldn't I commit the time and effort into this business that didn't cost me $100,000? Why wouldn't I commit that same time and effort to go after my goals and dreams? Right? It's funny when like society tells us it's okay when it's a business or when it's a 4-year college degree or going through high school and finishing high school, they tell us it's okay to do that. We're committing time and effort and energy to just get a piece of paper. So if I can do that for 4 years for a piece of paper, and I'm not saying that education is bad, that's not what I'm saying, but if I could do that, why wouldn't I commit that to my dreams? And I also know that most businesses take 4 years to break even, 3 years to break even. And so if most businesses take 3 years to break even and I earned $70 for my first month, I was already ahead of the game. I was already ahead. So I was so pumped about that because I'm like, if I can make $70, I can make 140. If I can make 140, I can build it to 280. If I can build it to 280, I can build it to 560. And so that was my mentality. And I didn't really know how long anything would take. I made a goal to leave my full-time job in 2 years. And I left my full-time job in a year and a half. My part-time income with coaching surpassed my full-time income after 1 year, but I was really scared to leave. I was scared to leave because it meant a pay cut. So I finally got up the courage to do that and leave. That was a really big decision. And yeah, now it's been 9 years and it's been a really incredible journey, and I'll share little stories along the way. But more than anything, this business has built a confidence in me, happiness in me that can't be taken away. And it's not because of the easy times, it's because of all the hard times. So I want to dive into that tonight. And I'll have time at the end, hopefully, for some questions if you guys have any questions. But I have 4 main things that I want to cover with you guys tonight. And the first one that I realized along the way is leading ourselves. And this is going to be, okay, Kristi, give us some good tips because this is really basic, but 95% of this business are your vital behaviors. It's that Success Club business tracker, right? That's 5% of the business. So I have coaches that'll dive in and they'll do all of the activities on the tracker and not have the results. And then I have coaches that dive in and do all the activities on the tracker and have really great results. So what's the difference? It's the 95%. It's who you need to become in the process. You have to become the brightest, shiniest version of you. That doesn't mean you need to know all the answers. That doesn't mean you need to be perfect, but that means you need to have so much excitement and enthusiasm for the person that you're becoming. And that means when you have tough times, I'll get into that in a little bit too, that you see things differently, that you have different perspective over them. So the one thing, if you take nothing away from this call, I want you to commit 100% to that Success Club tracker every single day for 90 days. I want it to be perfect for 90 days. And the reason is this, like, think of it. Who has completed a Beachbody fitness program? It's okay if you haven't, you can be honest, but in the chat, I would love to hear, you guys are all raising your hand, you guys are rock stars. In the chat, I'd love to hear which programs you've finished. Which one was most memorable and how did you feel when you finished that program? When you went all in, you followed it to a T, and you just like rocked it, you rocked the results, how did you feel? 21-day fix, 80-day obsession. Oh, bar like a lean machine and proud. 80-day while on vacation, traveling with my weights. I felt amazing. I love that, Kate. I finished Morning Meltdown 100. I finished the workouts, but I didn't fully follow the meal planner. 80-day obsession, followed fitness and nutrition to a T. Felt completely amazing and so accomplished. I want you guys to have that same feeling with your business, because that next level, that 95% of becoming the best, brightest, shiniest version of you is committing to those behaviors. So for 90 days, I want you to do it perfectly. I want you to show up when you get off this call. If you haven't done all the vitals on that tracker, I want you to do it before you go to bed. And tomorrow morning, or if you have a busy day tomorrow, I want you to get up early and make sure it gets done before you start your day or before you go to bed tomorrow night. for 90 days. And the reason is I want you to build the same confidence that you have in your fitness journey in your business. The other thing is what you aren't willing to do, you can't attract to your team. If you want to attract builders to your team, if you want to grow a residual income-based business, a business of freedom, if you just want to run challenge groups and help people on the customer side, that's okay. But if you want to build a really incredible team, if you want to have a really big impact, if you want to create that type of financial freedom, you have to commit to it first to show the way. A lot of times people are like, how do I attract better people to my team, Kristi? How do you find builders? Like, how do you find so many builders? I became the builder. I became the builder that showed up for every single activity on that tracker, even when I didn't feel like it. See, when we choose easy, our lives become hard. When we choose hard, our lives become easier. So when depression was killing me, it was killing me. It was hard to show up and do a workout. I get it. 4 days a week, 10 minutes a day. That's all I committed to. And those 10 minutes, 4 days a week were hard. It almost makes me cry to think how hard, because if you follow me now, fitness is my life. Like, it's my sanity. Maybe I'm a little afraid of becoming depressed again or something. I don't know, but it brought me back to joy, but it was hard. It was really hard before it ever became easier. But people look at me now and they're like, how is she so happy? And it's because of all that hard that my life became easier. But most of the time when it's hard, I don't want to wake up this morning. So you don't. And there's one of my favorite books, 6 Months to Six Figures. I have it right here. I've read it like 5 times, and this was years ago. I still read it all the time. He talks about this, the decision train. Successful people flip the decision train. Most people, what they do is they're like, oh, I woke up. I don't feel like working out today. I don't feel like working my business today, so I just won't do it. And then they feel crappy afterwards. Successful people wake up. They're like, I don't feel this, but I made the commitment. This is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to do it. And they feel amazing afterwards. I want you guys to have that kind of confidence for your business. Every decision you make is either helping or hurting your confidence. Every single one. You say that you're going to do the tracker for 90 days and you miss tonight, you've already decreased your confidence account. You've already told yourself, well, it's okay, I'll start tomorrow. And then you don't start tomorrow. You get off this, if you haven't already done everything, and you go do it, you're going to feel like a badass and you're going to show up tomorrow. You've built your confidence. So every decision is something that we get to decide. Are we building our confidence and becoming the best, brightest, shiniest version of ourselves so we can showcase the way and what's possible? Or are we decreasing that confidence account? So that's the first thing. I want you guys to commit to the vitals 100% for 90 days, because you can't ask others to do what you're not willing to do yourself. The other thing is the 100% that you think you're giving right now is a fraction of your capability. It's a fraction of your capability. And so it goes back to leading ourselves. What are you avoiding right now? What are you avoiding? I'll tell you, some of my 5-star diamond coaches are avoiding inviting to coaching. They're avoiding talking about the business. They're avoiding talking about how much this business has changed their life. And then they're like, why am I not attracting any business builders to my team? Like, because business builders don't know that they can build this business because all you talk about is challenge groups. Thing you're avoiding is the thing that like can propel you and shoot you forward to exactly what you want, but you got to dive in and just go after it. Stop avoiding. So today I had to call one of my 5-star diamond coaches out and be like, why aren't you shooting for superstar diamond coach? Why aren't you inviting to coaching? Why aren't you doing coach sneak peeks? Like, you've been at this for 5 years. You're not a brand new coach. You can go do that. And it literally, she's just been avoiding it because she's like, well, I don't want to push too hard. Guys, if you're afraid of pushing too hard, you have so much more that you're capable of. Push that line. And if it's too much, you'll figure it out and you can course correct. I do it all the time. Like, some days I'll have 3 Zooms and 6 one-on-one calls. I'm like, dude, that's a little too much for me. Too much talking. I'm an introvert. Tomorrow I'll course correct. I won't schedule so many, right? It's okay to push that line. Like, see what that next level potential is for you. Be the coach you want to attract. I kind of said that already. Okay, so leading ourselves, that's number 1. this business, 5%, the business tracker, those activities, are you doing them? Most people want the benefits of the business, but are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Are you willing to do what it takes to get there? So commit for 90 days to that Success Club activity tracker. I have so many stories I want to share with you guys, so I'm not sure where to interject them at this moment. I'll get to this story in a second. Okay, so number 2, whatever we focus on expands. And you hear that a lot, but I want to show you how true that is. When I first started as a coach, I told myself I'd be a superstar diamond coach my very first year. I was like, oh, superstar diamond. Like I looked at the thing. I'm like, it's 30 personally sponsored coaches. I can easily find 30 people that want to earn extra income from home. Like no brainer. This is a gift. We get to get healthy. Our number one job is to take care of ourselves and to pay that forward and become the best version of ourselves and pay that forward. So like 30 people, easy, and help 15 people get to diamond. It took me 60 days. I'll find those 15 people. I'll tell you, it didn't happen my first year. It happened in year 4, but I was so focused on it in year 1. I was excited about it every single year. And I showed up like I was already a superstar diamond coach. Whatever we focus on expands. So what is your current roadblock right now? Is it, I'm not a leader. I'm not good enough. Who am I to think I can be successful? Whatever that thing in your head, you have a decision right now. It either can become the roadblock that keeps you stuck, and the roadblock for some people where they'll quit, or it can be your next opportunity. It can be your next opportunity. So are you using that thought as a stepping stone to figure out how to get over that, whatever thought that is, whatever struggle that is? So for me, I didn't have a network. And I never actually even saw that as a struggle. I was like, oh, I don't have a network, so I'm going to have to build one. And then great, I can teach other people that you can start this from scratch and build a network. I didn't have a Facebook. I didn't have an Instagram. And now between all of my social media accounts, there's over 100,000 people starting from scratch. So whatever thing you're saying is why you can't be successful is why you can, and that will become your next superpower. It will become your next superpower. I have never been one that is a attraction marketing. I don't just post and have hundreds of people come to me. I invite behind the scenes. I post to social media and I invite behind the scenes. Do people reach out to me? Yes. Most of the time it's because I've invited them before or followed up, and then they see a post and they reach out. So it kind of looks like attraction marketing, but I did the work behind the scenes before they just reached out, right? And a lot of top coaches you see out there, attraction marketing, right? They built their business to attraction marketing. There's nothing wrong with that. Good for them. Like they put in the work. I'm just an introvert and I don't want to be stuck on social media doing stories all day. Do I do stories? Yes, but I'll do the behind the scenes work. And that's just how I built my business. And so my team knows, oh, it's okay if I never become an attraction marketer. I can be super successful in this business. It's duplicatable for everyone. I came from nothing. My mom still lives in a rundown trailer with rats in the ceilings. I'm working so that we can buy her a house and get her out of there. Like that is my next level vision. And that helps inspire my team that no matter where they start, they can accomplish it. So that thing that you're stuck on right now, that you're thinking you can't be a superstar diamond coach, that you're thinking you can't be 5-star elite or 2-star or diamond or whatever that may be, whatever that next goal is for you, emerald, earning $500 a month for your family, paying off debt, whatever that is, whatever thing you're thinking is why you can't be successful is the exact reason you can. You just have to be resourceful enough to go out there and say, okay, I'm sure now that we've been around long enough, like I've been doing this for 9 years, I can give every single one of you a story of the one thing you think of why you can't be successful, a story of exactly somebody that's done that with that same story. There's so many stories out there. So what I want you guys to do, if you have a doubt or something, a story that you're telling yourself, internal doubt, self-doubt, you're not a leader, I want you to go find a story of someone who is like, I don't want to say less than you because that's the wrong thing, but you might look at them and think, wow, they really suck. I think that's maybe why my team thought they could be successful. They're like, she really sucks. So we can do this. I'm not the best person when it comes to running challenge groups. They all run incredible challenge groups because they're like, I can do better than her. So even if you have a weakness or whatever it may be, that's why we have a team. So we have a team of strong people. You don't have to know it all. And then, so I want you to find a story that proves your thought process wrong. That proves you wrong. Go find a story that proves you wrong. Ask your team. A lot of times you think you have this weakness or this fear or this doubt, and so you keep it hidden. If you lean into this team, lean into your leaders, you have an incredible team. Lean in, post on the team page and say, hey, this is the thing that's holding me back. Can someone share a story with me of how you've overcome that? There are answers all around, and some of you have been stuck on the same thing for weeks, months, years because you haven't asked. And there's someone on this team right now who knows the exact next right answer for you to get over it today. We hold ourselves back. We limit ourselves, which goes back to number one of leading yourself. The 95% of this business is who we become in the process. So number two, whatever you focus on expands. If you're focusing on lack, you'll attract more. If you're focusing on abundance and believing in your ability to figure it out, because you can. I had to figure this entire business out. I had no leader above me. 2 weeks in, she left. Everybody else above me left. And there weren't YouTube videos back then. So I just did everything. I made everything up as I went. And was it great? No, probably not. but it worked because I believed it would work, because I believed in my goals and I showed up and did the work. Number 3, be of value. Be of value. Walking through your own stuff is how you add value. I got to 5-star diamond, and I was on the 6th week of qualification. So any star diamond rank, you have to hold for 6 weeks. You have to hold that rank for 6 weeks. On the very last day of the 6th week, I lost 5-star diamond. And I just left my full-time job. I needed that quarterly bonus. And I got off and I cried and I cried and I cried. And we were on vacation. And my husband looked at me. He's like, it's okay. So you missed a goal. You're just going to keep working. You're eventually going to get there. Why are you upset about it? Because we lost the money. It's like, we'll be okay. Like you're not going to stop showing up for the goals and vision you have for your life. So why are you giving this energy? Why are you giving this energy? Because that energy is stealing from your greatness. That energy is energy you could be out there finding people that want to run with you. But instead, that energy is your negative thoughts on repeat. So that's part of getting to that next level is how do you take those negative thoughts, see the opportunity in there, figure it out so that you can turn around and help more people figure it out. I got back to work, got back to 5-star diamond, got stuck at 5-star diamond for a while. But because of that lesson, even when I was stuck at 5-star diamond, I never lost my excitement or my enthusiasm for going out there and trying to find other people like me that wanted to build this business. And so I was stuck for a long time, couple years. I think I got to 7-star and was stuck there for a couple years. And then in a matter of months, went from 7-star to superstar diamond coach. And why this is important is because I just had a coach that went superstar diamond qualifying. However, she went superstar diamond qualifying 5 months ago. And she lost superstar diamond qualifying and fell back down to 4-star diamond. What do you guys think happened? She cried. She came to me. She cried. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. This is just such a hard hit. I don't think I can do it. And I said, it doesn't change your goal or your vision for your family. It doesn't change your goal or vision for your family. So why would you give that energy, and why not use that energy to go get super fired up and make it happen and find those people that want to do this with you? She just 5 months later went back into superstar diamond qualifying with 17 diamond coaches who are wanting to do this with her. If I hadn't gone through that, if I hadn't figured out how to grow through that and become a better version of myself through that process, I wouldn't have been able to turn around and help her. Every single struggle you come into, it's there for you. It's there for you to grow. And it really is, Darren Hardy always says, every wall is, every wall, how does he say, every wall is something that thins the herd, basically. Like either that wall is going to thin the herd, or you're going to figure it out and grow because of it and be able to have a bigger impact. If you want to help a lot of people, I hope people aren't offended if I cuss, figure your shit out. Like, it's really like, that's what it is, right? So be a value, work through your own stuff, and that's going to make you more valuable. Like, it's happening for you. Your life is happening for you right now. And I know sometimes that's hard and people are like, you don't know what I'm going through. I can give you any, I just had a woman, she's a customer, reach out, and I had no idea all of this, but she lost her husband. He's in the military. He died while he was deployed. She was pregnant, and 2 weeks later, she gave birth to a stillborn. Lost her child and her husband. She is the most positive, gracious, giving person. And I asked her, I said, how did you, like, one, I'm super inspired by you because you bring the best energy. And she's like, well, I wasn't very good for a couple years, but I realized I had a decision of how I lived my life. And I could live in that deep, dark hole, or I could fight to get out of it and be able to inspire and help others. And that's what she did. And her situation is extreme, right? Nobody should have to go through that. But she could use it for good, or she could use it to stay stuck. And you all are coaches, so I know you want to use it for good. So those tough times that happen to you, any struggle, like that is just getting you to the next level. That is there to help you. Superstar Diamond Coach, 5-star, whatever your goal, like that's possible this year. Y'all don't need 5 years to make it happen. Like, you got to start having the belief that you can make it happen this year. Cut that goal date that you're giving yourself in half, and you'll show up with more excitement, more energy, more enthusiasm, and you'll attract even better people because that's the energy that you're bringing. So be of value. And when you're of value, you feel more valuable, and that'll help build your confidence too. And number 4, mentoring others. We can't pour belief and hard truths into others. I can't say a lot of this hard stuff to you guys if I haven't gone through it myself. So that's part of mentoring others. If you want to be able to have those hard truth conversations. So going back to my coach that just went Superstar Diamond qualifying, right? She goes through a lot of stuff. You want big goals, you just fail more. You fail more and you fail faster. She had a coach enroll with her the other day and tried to steal her stole her getting started right process, and then transferred back to another coach. Basically, it was like a friend of some girl who's been in the network for who knows how long, enrolled with her to steal her stuff, and then transferred within the 5-day coach window, right? And she's a firecracker, my Superstar Diamond qual, but she's a firecracker. And so she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, right? She wanted to focus on the negative. And I said, Court, here's the thing. Your training system, I'm sure it's great. I'm not downplaying your training system. But it's not the training system. It's you. You are the secret sauce. The energy you bring, the belief you bring, the fire you bring, the way you show up in your business, the consistency, how you show up even when you don't feel like it, how you have these big goals and you spread that vision to your team. Like, she can't steal that. She has to grow into that. Let her take your training system. It's not going to work because it's not about the training system. It's about you. It's about you going through the hard stuff and becoming the best, brightest, shiniest version of you. And that's what I love about this business. Like, all the accolades, all the millions of dollars of income, like all that stuff, like, it's great, but it's the happiness that you learn to generate every single day in your life. And you want to spread that to other people like wildfire. I can't even say that. So I know that you guys had some questions on how to get new coaches started, right? So I have a Google Doc, and I'm going to share with you guys the exact step-by-step system I have, but I'll share some coaches never make it through it and are in Success Club, because the thing that I give them from day one, this is the tracker, this is everything that is going to build your business, but you have to commit to doing it every single day. Commit to your personal development, commit to growing into the best possible version of you. And then I share stories with them. I share stories constantly of other successful coaches and what they're doing. I share stories of struggle. People don't care about the success if they don't hear the struggle. Because it's like, those coaches that they just keep telling the coach's story of success. And you're like, okay, but did they really go through anything hard? Because that seems real easy. It doesn't inspire you, right? If I went through and had time to tell you all of the stuff that I went through as a child and how we lost everything, it would inspire you even more, because you're like, this girl came from nothing. I can do it if she can do it. Right. And that's the belief that you're pouring into other people. So whatever your story is, wherever you're at, that's your superpower. You are your superpower. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, mentoring others. So when it comes to mentoring others, some of the simplest systems that I've done when I wanted to get to Superstar Diamond Coach, I did a few things. One, I created a message pod, and I reached out to every single personally sponsored coach I had. And I said, hey, I really want to push for Superstar Diamond team. Are you in? Is Diamond a goal of yours? If it's not, no pressure, no worries, still love you. We can still rock fitness goals together, no big deal. But if it is, if Diamond's a goal of yours, if growing your business is a goal of yours, Diamond is the first goal. If growing a business is the goal of yours, like that is my belief. Diamond is just building Emerald multiple times. That's all it is. And so I'm like, if it is, let me know. And all of them said they were in. We know that's not how it works out, but all said they were in. And so I said, awesome. We're going to do a Zoom once a week. On the Zoom, we're going to go through what you're missing to get to Diamond, how many invites, because I'm a numbers person. Like, this business is numbers. People don't like to say that. I'm all about quality too. I wish everybody wanted to commit and do what they say they're going to do, but that's not the case. And so, yes, it is quantity, because with the quantity, I find the quality. And even with the quantity, those people that don't commit, that don't follow through, they follow me. I just had a girl enroll with me. This is the coolest story. We went to school since first grade. I have a lot of friends I went to school with since first grade that have followed me for forever. And she has enrolled on my team 3 times. Inactive every single time. And she has quit 3 times, enrolled 3 times, quit 3 times. And all of a sudden last month, she shows up in my coach office, didn't reach out to me, enrolls, challenge pack, dives in. And her husband or her fiance was doing 22-minute hardcore. She's doing 21-day fix. All of a sudden she's posting on social media. Like, I reached out to her with the new coach emails. She didn't do any of them, guys, by the way, at all. So she posted on social media that she's doing these programs. I messaged her on Facebook. I was like, hey, here's the business tracker. If you're wanting to commit and like really dive in, like, what are your goals? What are you wanting to accomplish? And she's at Success Club, and she hit Emerald. And I reached out to her and I said, I am really, really proud of you. I said, but what changed? What changed? And she goes, well, after 9 years of following you, I realized I needed to get over myself and just go all in and do the work. She goes, for 9 years, you've showed up and you showed me what's possible. And I'm ready to do this now, and I'm ready to get over my shit. I'm like, I have chills right now just telling you guys that. 9 years. 9 years of her starting and giving up over and over again and never doing anything with this business or her health. Her fiance is down 30 pounds. Of course, men, sorry dudes on the call, lose the weight so quickly. And she's like, the scale hasn't budged. I'm like, yeah, but you're smaller, girl. Her pictures are incredible. She looks amazing. And my heart's full, because I didn't allow other people not showing up for their business or their goals for their life to slow me down. Like, somebody quits, someone gives up, someone doesn't show up, someone says they're going to do this and they don't do this. That's okay. I can love them where they're at and still have goals for my life and go out there quantity and like invite as many people as possible, not because I'm like, oh, I have to get the Success Club numbers, because this has changed my life. This has been such a gift that has transformed my life. Why wouldn't I want to give that to other people? And I wish I had more time in my day sometimes to talk with more people, just to give them this gift and allow them to make the decision for their lives. So again, I will send you my little system that I have for getting coaches started right. It's not that cool. The one thing I would say is really just showing up in your team pages and sharing your stories all together. Because collectively, if every single one of you went into your team page right now and shared your story of what this business has done for you, how has it touched your life? Is it the community? Is it the hope? We have a nurse right now who works in a busy hospital, and she's at Success Club 14 and enrolled in her first 2 weeks. And she goes, this business is the hope in my day. It's the light at the end of my day. Because I come home and I am drained, and I'm so excited and enthusiastic for life because of this community. You guys have given me joy and hope and support that I've never experienced in my life. What a gift. Like, that just makes me cry. She's 14 days in. She hasn't even experienced the longevity of being here in 9 years. But we all share our stories. Our stories are the most powerful thing that we have. And if you all didn't think that you're not good enough to be sharing that, whether this business has paid a student loan or paid your utility bill or giving you community, or maybe you're showing up for fitness and you've never done that before. You're showing up for your health and you've never done that before in your life. That's a gift that so many people are searching for. So if you all were sharing that in your team page, when you add a new coach in there, they're going to feel that energy. They're going to see all the new coaches being welcome. They're going to see all your stories. You don't even need a new coach system. You need the energy. None of my new coaches have finished my new coach system, and they're at Success Club and Emerald. And it is the energy that you bring. It's the energy that you bring. It's caring about people, which every single one of you can do. That's duplicatable. There's tons of coach training in our office. People can Google anything. One of my coaches that started a year ago in May, Brandy, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. This is kind of an extreme case. She earned $24,000 her first year as a coach. I earned $6,000. This girl like blows me out of the water. She never went through any of our training. She just dove in, and then she would message me with questions. I'm like, how are you earning Success Club 50? I don't even do that. How are you doing that? She just believed in the programs because she got such great results. She did 80-day obsession since the day it came out until she became a coach last year. And so her belief was so strong. She transferred that belief and that energy and that enthusiasm to others. And I know that might not be the answer that you guys want, but you all have everything within you that you need at this very moment to accomplish whatever goals and dreams that you have for your family and your life. And it's not any special systems. I never had them. I'll give you all mine. Like, you could ask anything and I'd be like, oh, here's a script for that. But it's not about the script. It's about your story behind it. And you all have a really powerful story, and that's yours to own. Tell it with so much excitement over and over and over again, and you can change a lot of lives. And that's it. That's all I have. But I'm an open book. So if you guys have questions like tactical about the business, I do a lot of tactical calls. I can cover anything as well.
Oh my gosh, I just kind of want to like close my eyes right now and absorb all of the energy and like love you just poured into everyone. I know that everyone is just feeling better hearing you tonight, like better, even if like I came on and I was excited and I feel, I don't know, I can't think of the word. I'm just like feel complete. Like you just really, really delivered such energy and positivity and authenticity. And that is so refreshing. That's a lot about what we're about. And I loved it. That's amazing. So yeah, you guys, if you have any questions for Kristi right now, I know that Kate had a couple other questions maybe. So Kate, if you wanted to throw one in there or something, here's one. In the pods, was the action item committing to the tracker for 90 days? So that must be the pod of going for Superstar, the one Zoom a week, and then the number of invites, and then committing to the tracker for 90 days?
Mm-hmm. I was committing to the tracker, and then, and of the 30, most fell off, guys. So don't think it was perfect. It wasn't. Like by the end, it was 7. That that were showing up, but it was the tracker. And then we read the 12-week year together. And this is kind of crazy because she didn't know, but I had Courtney, the superstar, qualifying on another training for our team today. And she's like, yeah, all of my girls and I were all going through the 12-week year. And I was like, Court, okay, really crazy, because 4 years ago, I went superstar diamond, or 5 years ago, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago, I went superstar diamond qualifying, and we all were reading 12-week year. So they had to read 12-week year and check in every, I don't remember because it was so long ago, but we had to check in with our takeaways into the group message pod, like our takeaways from 12-week year as we were reading it. One really big thing is socializing your learning. And I'm really big on this with my team. So like when this training ends, I don't know where you guys put the recordings, I have my team go in and all comment what their takeaways were, and if they're going to implement something or think of something differently, or the perspective that they needed. Because one way that I've been able to grow faster is whatever I learn in my personal development, I then am going live in my team page. I'm sharing it with every like coach that I'm messaging back and forth. Like it always comes up in conversation that what I learned from my personal development allows me to help a coach or a challenger on our team. And because of that, I master things faster. It's called socializing your learning, because I'm putting it into practice right away in my own life, but then I'm sharing it and teaching it to others. And so when this ends, if you all socialize your learning and all share, like, this was my takeaway from Kristi, this was my takeaway, this was my takeaway, this, you know, these are the things that I'm going to implement from what she shared. Now you all can go and read each other's, and you grow faster, because there are going to be things that Lindsay picked up that Tabitha didn't. Tabitha is then going to read what Bree or Haley wrote and be like, oh my gosh, I totally missed that. When did she say that? And so now we're all growing at different levels and deeper levels. So sorry, I got off track, but I made them socialize their learning on 12-week years so that they could learn from each other and pick things up. And then it was just all about the 12-week year and checking in, accountability style. So like right now I'm doing a 90 days to diamond group with my team, and I've done some big like superstar diamonds. We all do trainings for our teams. And the one thing I found is if people miss it, they like get really defeated. So I always have to let people know, like Courtney, she did 4 of my diamond groups before she ever went diamond. She like kept missing it. Right. But she never gave up, going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm, and really being excited about everything you're learning in the process. So during that group, that's all I did. It was an accountability group of them checking in. How many people did you invite? How many people did you add to your network? Because we need new people seeing our message. We need new people hearing our stories. So you need to be growing your network. So invites, growing your network. How many follow-ups did you send, and how many posts or stories did you do on social media, and how many calls to action did you have? Like I try to have a call to action. It doesn't always happen, but I try to have a call to action daily, either on my timeline, on my Instagram or Facebook, or in my stories. But there's always a call to action of some sort. And they're simple. If you guys follow my stories, you're like, this girl's real basic. There's nothing fancy about it. Even one of my coaches, she goes, I just love watching you. It's so simple. Like, yeah, do you guys spend too much time here? I don't spend that much time. Like simple, basic, to the point, so that other people can understand it. And I'm not fancy, but yeah. So I've always, like, a lot of the systems that I have to help people are very simple, because I want what I do to be duplicatable. I always tell people my 11-year-old niece could do this, and she'd probably do it better because she wouldn't overthink it, or she might, but 6-year-old wouldn't overthink it. When she was 6, when she was younger, when I started this business, I used to use her as an example because she wouldn't overthink it. She would just do it. And that's what steals from our greatness, is the overthinking. It's that, oh, should I invite this person? No, just ask them. With the coronavirus and COVID-19 and all that, like a lot of us are in extreme momentum. I think your team is, my team is, we're doing great. But there were a few that at the beginning were like, how do I post about this in a sensitive time, right? And I shared a post on social media recently that I have an email list now. And when I sent out an email, it was very, very like, this is the time to take care of your health. Like it was very kind of in your face, because that's just me. I'm like direct, straight to the point. And there was one lady who had been on my email list for years. and she ripped me a new one. But for that one person, I had 300 other people ask for more information. And so I shared on my timeline, like, you can't allow that one person to stop you from helping the thousands. And that's where we get sidetracked. And so when I have someone that's negative, if you're going after big goals, you're going to have haters, by the way. To be great is to be misunderstood. And I used to allow those people, I'm a people pleaser. I used to allow those people, they would replay and repeat on my mind for like 2 to 3 months. I would still do the work. I would still show up, but I was literally repelling the success that I wanted because I was allowing that energy to steal from my greatness. So now when like I have any negative things come towards me, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that on repeat in my head. I don't want it stealing from my greatness. I don't want it stealing from my next level. How would my best self handle this? Sorry, that was off topic, but I don't know how I got there.
No, that was awesome. Kate had a question about the personal development lives, like when you learn something and you're going to implement it and you go share it in the team for your, what you called it, socializing your learning. Do you do that daily or kind of once a week or just when you feel it?
Yeah, great question. So for you guys, I would do it as often as you feel inspired to do it. You know, when you get excited about something, you're like, oh my gosh, I just figured this out. This is so cool. I have those a lot. But I also have a Zoom that I'm usually leading for our team. Like we have like a leaders mastermind. And for people that are diamond and above, we have the 90 days to diamond Zoom. So I'm doing that Zoom. We have our team training Zoom. We have a Q&A Zoom. So that alone is just 4 Zooms a week without any extras. And I'm constantly sharing what I'm learning on those. Always. And coaches will come to me and say, oh my gosh, this is what I learned in my personal development. It's so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so great. And then I'm like telling everyone on the Zoom about what they learned. And so I learned it through them, but now I'm like spreading it to everybody else. A lot of times what you guys are learning, your aha moments, I find there's a lack of confidence because you're like, oh, everybody else already knows that. But if everybody else already knew that, wouldn't we all be successful? And so it's that lack of confidence that, like, if it's a cool aha moment for you, 98% of your team needs that. 98% of your challengers need to hear that message if it's an aha moment for you. But we stop and don't share because we compare ourselves to the 2%. I tell my team all the time, I'm like, you're not sharing about coaching because you think you can't share until you get to Superstar Diamond Coach. No, I shared about my $70 in income and how excited I was my very first month. And I had more people enroll for an extra $200 a month. People don't relate to my income anymore. That's not relatable. Like, it's more relatable to say you can make $500 a month, but we shy away from sharing the gifts that is given us because we're not where we want to be. So we think it's not enough.
I think you just answered Jessica's too. She said that she struggles sharing about coaching because she feels like she can share about the community and the friendships and personal accountability, but she struggles sharing about the financial opportunity because she doesn't have that huge team yet. So how did you share? And really, you kind of said sharing all of it.
Yeah. So one big story for me was when I got started with coaching, I lived in San Luis Obispo, which is on par with San Francisco costs, LA costs, but the pay there is 50% of what you can get paid in LA and San Francisco. So you're really like not making much and you're barely surviving, and most people work multiple jobs. And every time I went to get gas just to get to and from work, I would have to check my bank account. And sometimes it was like, oh, you can put $10 in and you can't drive anywhere this week because that $10 needs to get you to and from work, right? And I remember month 2, I earned $800 in month 2. And I remember going to the gas pump. I'm like, I don't have to check my bank account. There's money in there and I get to fill my tank. And I don't have to come to the gas station more than like multiple times this week. Like, this is so cool. And I shared that. And people enrolled for that. Like, one of my very first coaches, she's still a coach today. And I asked her, I said, why did you enroll with me? Like, what made you enroll? I had no success to speak of. And she said, well, you shared that you had lost like 5 pounds using Shakeology and you had replaced your coffee and muffin every day. And I thought, well, I could probably replace a meal and Wouldn't hurt to save a little bit on my grocery bill if I have one meal I don't have to pay for and I lose weight at the same time. And she's like, that's it. Like, okay. And she still uses Shakeology to this day, 9 years later, right? It's these simple stories that we think it needs to be some grand story, but it's those simple ones that are powerful. I just had a coach start March 31st, and she dove in 100%, ultimate portion fix, following it to a T, 21-day fix, following it to a T. She's lost 18 pounds. And she was in an abusive relationship, and she had left finally after 10 years and just hadn't taken care of herself. So it's a really big commitment for her to make. And she shared her story, and it's inspiring because she doesn't, 18 pounds is a lot. It is, but she followed those programs to a T. She deserves it. Like, that's not easy to do when you haven't taken care of yourself for so long, right? Just making that commitment and going all in. But that's how you build confidence. And so all these little stories that somebody told me once, we have all these little miracles every single day, and we are almost immune to them because we don't know how good we have it. Even through the coronavirus, even through, like, I was telling a friend today that I run with, I'm like, you know what? Think about the people back with the Spanish flu in 1918. They didn't have technology. That would suck. Like, social distancing in your house alone, like truly alone, no Zoom. We don't get to chat. No social media. Like, we don't understand how many miracles that we see every day. And because we do, we're immune to them. And because we see so many, you guys forget the little miracles in your own story, because you're comparing yourself to some big miracle that you want for your life, but it's all those little miracles along the way that add up to the big ones. And celebrating those, like, as you celebrate those, you build more confidence. So I ask my team a lot, what are you most proud of this week? They beat themselves up enough. I don't need to beat themselves up because they didn't do their tracker. I have a weekly tracker post in our team page that shows up like every Thursday morning. Drop your trackers below. I'll send a $20 gift card. I'll pull from a hat everybody that drops their trackers. And some of them are like, oh, wow, I thought I did more this week. I didn't. Okay, next week will be better. And I always ask, what are you most proud of? What are you most proud of this week? What went well this week? I want you reflecting on what you didn't do well so that you can change it for next week, not so you can beat yourself up. But it's the same thing. We have to learn to stop beating ourselves up, celebrate what we're doing well, but share those celebrations and all those milestones. I used to, if I enrolled a new coach or a new customer, every single person got shouted out on my Facebook wall. Every single person when I was new. And that just showed social proof that people really did want to enroll and do this with me. And it helped build more. But a lot of times you think, oh, I only enrolled one person. That's a person. That's a person's life that you get to change. Celebrate that.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, it looks like we have one more, and you have stayed on our call so long. I love you. I appreciate you so much. The last question I think is a really big one. And I think that it's something that we try to address a lot, I think, across the board, through the company and everything. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you say about this. But she says, what are your tips for overcoming a lack of belief? I completely agree. It's about where you believe you'll go. But what if you're just struggling to believe it?
Yeah. Start with that tracker. Start with committing to a program and going all in. Like, if you haven't committed to 2B Mindset or Ultimate Portion Fix, commit to it, whatever, for 30 days, like, commit all in to a program, all into the activities, and just show up and be excited about that milestone of completing that. And each of those things will help you in personal development, of course, right? It's the consistency to all of it. And that can change, but it's also making the decision. It's like making the decision that you want more for your life. And so you're gonna do the work to get there. The lack of belief, though, it's personal development. It's showing up and taking action. I think a lot of lack of belief comes from lack of confidence because we've consistently not done what we said we were going to do. And I don't know you personally. If I did, I'd probably give you better tips.
Yeah, no, that's great. I totally agree. And I also think you hit on it earlier when you said that people just need to stop overanalyzing, like just do it and have fun and stop focusing so much on the things that are not going well and look at that one person that you're affecting right now. Look at that life you're changing. Look at all the great things. And as you celebrate those great things, it attracts your vibe. I mean, your vibe is higher and it attracts more of those opportunities to do that. So I love that. Thank you so much, Kristi, for everything. I'm so excited. I wanted to share really quick. It's like 10 seconds, I promise. That when you were talking about how people feel like they don't have, and this is something for all of you guys too. You guys know I love speaking. Like put me on a stage, give me a microphone, put me on a call. I love it. Like I want to do it all the time, right? And when she just said like sometimes we don't feel like we're enough for other people, or maybe we don't feel like we can handle the size of the team that we want to have, or whatever it is, I just want you to realize that no matter what level you're at in this business, and no matter what your journey looks like, you're going to have little pieces of time and little moments that you still have those little fears that kind of come over and you have to step out of. And one for me would be when I told Kristi that I wanted to switch team calls with her. And then I realized, oh my gosh, she's like somebody who I learned from and she has all these accolades. What could I possibly teach her team that they haven't heard from her? What could I possibly share? And then I acknowledged my thought. I recognized it. I released it and I said, you know what? There's people on her team that they haven't heard all the stories. They haven't heard all of the things. And when you hear it from other people, you can pick up different things, different aha moments and things. So it's just recognizing those and being able to acknowledge, and yes, repetition is key, and acknowledge those and release them, and just know that you all have so much value. Whether you just started your program and you've lost 1 pound this week, you can teach someone to do that. And you're more than capable, and so all of that good stuff. But
you just got me fired up on that. So something that we ask, we do like a 10-day Emerald push group. It's really basic. It's them checking in with their trackers every day. Just FYI. Like, we don't give them much training. We're like, tracker, let's do the work. We give them a little bit of training, like here's how to invite, here's some scripts, here's what Emerald is and why you want to get there. Like a lot of it's pre-recorded stuff that we've already recorded that we just add. So it's not complicated. But one of the things that we ask them is, what is a fear or doubt that's popping up into your head right now? And how do you flip that? So we actually teach them from day one how to flip that. So they have to start, like if their fear is posting to social and what other people think, and they'll flip it and they'll say, oh, but by me posting and sharing, I'm able to inspire and help someone else change their life like my coach has changed mine. And so we actually ask them to start doing that. So when it comes to the belief, I just realized this because I'm a certified high performance coach, and I don't know why I didn't think of it until now, but when a thought enters your head, as humans, the thought enters, the information comes in, and then we interpret it. And with that interpretation, we decide how we give that meaning, right? And then we decide if it's going to be on repeat in our head, or if, as Lindsay said, you're going to release it, right? And so your job is to be more conscious when that thought comes in, I don't believe in myself, to flip it and put the opposite on repeat in your head. So every time it comes in your head, as you practice how to flip that over and over again, you'll start putting more positive spins on things. And I had to, in like 2016, I had a bunch of coaches, 2017, end of 2016, I had a bunch of coaches leave, and the income went down in 2018. Like it was a long, it didn't show until 2018 because I had a bunch of leaders leave, right? And I had this negative thought. Here I am, 7 years in the business, that like, oh, I'm never going to actually get any bigger than what I already am. That was my negative thought. I'm never going to get any bigger than what I already am. And I had to stop that and be like, no, you didn't come this far to only come this far. There's always another level. There's always a deeper level of growth and happiness, and not allowing that fear and doubt to stop us. But this is really cool because now you get to use this, figure it out, and turn around and help your team because they're going to hit the same thing. They're going to hit where they think it's their capacity and their level, and then they're going to realize their next level vision. And we have more now, like with all this coronavirus going on, we have more rank advancements and more like large rank advancements and small, like all this stuff happening. And it's so incredible. And I never stopped. I never let that doubt slow me down from taking all the action. I just wasn't getting as great of results as I am right now with the action I'm taking because that mindset was limiting me. But I knew the tools of how to replace it. So you have to practice that. When that thought comes in, what's the opposite of it? Just like Lindsay said, when she was like, oh, who am I to speak on her call? Are you kidding? I love, like, every coach that comes to my call, I'm like, they're so good. I didn't do that good on their call. That's okay. Hopefully I said something that inspired them to get to the next level, and it's self-doubt. But I realized over the years of those thoughts entering my mind, our stories are the most powerful thing, and what we've gone through helps somebody else to overcome and grow through things too. And maybe some of you will walk away and think like, I didn't get anything from her call. That's okay. That doesn't devalue my worth or who I am as a person. That doesn't mean that I can't have an impact and help other people. That's nothing negative against me. So just because you might not be able to impact everyone you come across, don't let that limit the people that you can impact.
Yes, mic drop. There we go. I love it. All right, Kristi, if you don't mind, we do something on our team at the end of every call where we take a boomerang and so that we can put it on our story with some Savage music, maybe Savage today, I don't know. And so would you mind taking a boomerang with us? We do have 2 screens, so we'll have to do 2. All right. So here's the first one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, saving. And screen number 2. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, awesome. We got it. I will get those up. Hi. Up and tagged. And I just want to say thank you again so much, Kristi, for all of your time and energy and everything. We appreciate it so much. All right. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.